we on? It ain't. Huh?
That's good.
We good?
All right, that's fine.
It ain't saying nothing. It ain't saying.
If it's about your height, I put the mic up for you.
Oh, just for me. You want to push it up a little bit?
Wait, hold on.
But you might need to bring it up just a little. Yeah.
Okay.
We have something to put in front of it. Let me see if I can find something.
Why is this not working? Uhuru. Yeah.
Going
Okay.
down. I'm going down.
Okay, I think it's good. You might have to.
What?
My head is getting cut off.
Oh shit. Listen, let me get back to my place.
Yeah, sorry. There you go.
All right.
That's good. That's good. Really?
No.
Got some tape? We're taping? No,
Okay. Yeah, I think it might be good now.
Here, if we have it up a little bit more, have it like that.
If we have to tape it, we can tape it. Right?
Well, I'm not sure. There we go. And I'll be right here in case it's...
Okay, yeah, okay. So it's announced it's on live, right? Okay. Oops.
Are you ready to start?
Uhuru.
Uhuru.
All right. You can turn down my mic. Thank you. All right, can everybody hear me?
Yeah.
All right, Uhuru. My name is Tiffany, and I am your MC this evening, and I want to welcome everyone to the Kunde Speaks Philadelphia leg of the tour. You are going to be amazed tonight. You are going to be inspired. You are going to be educated. And I'm really, really excited that the tour is here to Philadelphia. It's a really, really amazing and powerful story that's going to cause everybody in this room to get together. So just really quickly, Uhuru is a term that we use as a Swahili term that means freedom. Freedom in our lifetime, freedom yesterday. Freedom can't wait. In a society, society where we live in, where Africans are constantly being oppressed economically, socially, deprived of educational resources, now is the time to organize, and to organize under real revolutionary leadership with the Uhuru movement. Tonight's going to be a really powerful program. It's going to be filled with statements of unity. We'll have some video. We'll also have some culture. So it's going to be a really, really dope event. But let me just go ahead and get everybody warmed up a little bit. It's a little early. So let me do a call and response. So when I say Uhuru, you say
Uhuru.
I'm deaf. I'm sorry. Say that one more time. Uhuru.
Uhuru.
One more time. Uhuru.
Uhuru.
Uhuru. And that's going to be the energy that we give off all evening. Just some housekeeping items before we get started. If you have a cell phone, we ask that you please put it on silent. This is going to be a really, really powerful program filled with lots of important content and we don't want any distractions or anything that's going to take anybody off. Just the power of tonight's message. Also, we have a couple things going on. We have an information table in the back where you'll find out tons of information about the Uhuru movement, and it's different programs and different legs, which include the African People's Education and Defense Fund, the International People's Democratic Uhuru Movement. You'll find out more about Uzi. You'll find out more about the furniture store, and so much more. We are also doing a raffle as a fundraiser for the 3 Drowned Black Girls tour to pay for expenses, legal costs, so on and so forth. So and we also want everybody in this room to be active and get involved. If you want to volunteer, here at the furniture store, if you're interested in finding out more about Uhuru Flea Market out in Clark Park, which is coming up June 17th, if you want to find out more about Impidom, just ways to get involved and get active in political life and not be dormant. The only way to overturn the problem is to get involved directly in the solution. Roll up your hands and roll up your sleeves and get involved. That's the only way. Uhuru. I'm sorry. Uhuru. Yeah, I need some energy. Had a long day. I need y'all to go ahead and wake me up. So when I feed something to y'all, I need y'all to get it back. Uhuru. All right. So, all right, so that's my welcome. So first up, as I said before, we have some beautiful culture by, oh goodness, she's just a force. There's nothing that this sister can and doesn't do. She sings, she recites poetry, and she's just a beautiful spirit. She is a fantastic supporter of the Uhuru movement and all the programs and institutions that we put out here in Philadelphia, and she's going to bless the mic for us tonight. Please help me give a warm welcome to Sister Rhonda Rhymes.
Uhuru. Uhuru. Say it again. Uhuru. Uhuru. How are you feeling tonight? Good. I'm feeling blessed and I'm feeling empowered. I'm feeling so glad and happy to be here. And I'm feeling the energy in the room. The energy just feels electric. That's the way I can describe this energy, and I'm just glad to be here to partake in it and share this powerful energy with you, and to engage in the exchange of this energy, because we need each other, right? We need each other, because without this unification, there's no way possible that we can move forward and make progress and be liberated if there is no real unification. So I'm going to start off. I just want to get right to it. And I'm going to do little bits and pieces of some of my work. Brown eyes see mommy cries. Daddy dies at the hands of piercing blue eyes, cutting family ties. Ripping through black souls, blue eyes be cold like ice, creating infestations like mice, causing little brown eyes little chance to grow and thrive, surrounded by filth, blood, and corrosion. Stench of death fills the air, bodies frozen, numb. Some become accustomed, eyes sullen, somewhat settle in from repetitive dehumanization. Brown eyes sees it all, the screams, the torture, bodies overlapping wall to wall as ships ways, sailing away from home, a place little one never really known, and what's little memory is left is forced to forget through Willie Lynch tactics, creating generations of addicts, manics, and white Jesus fanatics, covered in brown skin, self-loathing seeping in. Brown eyes sees the future where suffering knows no end. Desolate, black minds both affected affected and affected, brown eyes becoming desensitized, any sense of self destroyed by piercing blue eyes, on a ship sailing, bodies wading in the water, dead souls wailing, plotting revenge on white men's sins, urging their people to rise, planting fire inside brown eyes, preparing little one for the fight. Much opposition in sight, yet little brown eye survives. Through the storm, a warrior's born. I will not be a victim of you. I will not be a victim of you. My people been struggling too long, trying to right these wrongs. My people been struggling too long, surviving through these songs. My people been struggling too long, blood, sweat, and tears, caught up in this bondage held captive for years. But I will not remain branded for life, scarred with the you done left me with. Can't live without constantly fighting for my survival, fighting for my sanity. Hoard to be a commodity for your gain, conditioned me to self-destruct. You got me going insane and acting out of character, playing my part like a well-trained actor while you sit back and smile and thrive off my demise through trickery, deceit, and lies, pulling masquerading minstrels over my eyes, making me a victim of mental homicide. Branded for life, cause you taught me how to hate myself. Generations of nigger talk ingrained in my head, so I've come to believe it is only natural to act how you had programmed me to act. Like a nigger, breaking me in and breaking me down, making sure I'd never come back to me, making sure I'd always be a nigga, seemingly unknowingly, gleefully being that nigga, being proud to be that nigga, perpetually proving to be that nigga, marinating in the madness of ignorance. Seemed like I never knew another way, removed from my true nature, a product of your environment, branded for life. Trying to break loose of these old willy chains, but the plantation asylum got a hold of my brain. Don't know who I am, don't even know my name. The very foundation of my existence you've claimed. Lost in a sea of facades, false identity got me trapped. Struggling, coping, never knowing when I'm gonna snap. The result of your experimentations, fascinations, insecurities, and inferiority complexes. You with your inferiority complexes, trying to prove me to be inferior when we know the real. Envious of my greatness, you've reversed the roles, flipped the script, systematically sowed the seeds of my degradation, and I began to believe it. Why did I have to be your guinea pig? You have picked and poked and prodded me so much till I am not in my right mind like you, and you wonder why I'm angry. Why should I not be angry? This be spiritual warfare. Created this conspiracy against me in the name of God and Christianity. Created this conspiracy against me, taking away my humanity. Created this conspiracy against me. Why should I not be angry?
Yes.
When you have chained me, shackled me, stole me, raped me, lynched me, hung me, castrated me, pimped me, punked me, dislocated me, uncivilized me, brainwashed me, and stripped me of my dignity. There is no wonder why. It is evident. Branded for life. Don't know if I can ever find my way back to my true self. Been corrupted, made to be your puppet, trained to act at your command. Speak when you say speak, jump when you say jump, dance when you say dance. Like man-tan, I'm in a trance, under your spell, in a living hell. Branded for life. Been bought and sold from the auction block to the boardroom, pimping my culture. Your stamp on me continues, making me a living advertisement to propel your agenda. A walking billboard covered in brand names, sending the message that you might always own me. All too much to fathom this effed up fact. The question is, when we gonna never wake up and fight back? And take our souls back, and take our bodies back, and take our names back, and take our land back, and take our culture back, and take our history back, and take our minds back. Whoa. Sorry, y'all, I get a little emotional.
That's all right. That's all right. All right. That's all right. I apologize.
Okay. We will not bow down to our racism. We will not bow down to injustice. We will not bow down to exploitation. I'm gonna stand. I'm gonna stand. How we got over, how we got, ooh, how we got over, how we got over. Through power to the people, and I'm black and I'm proud, saying it loud, fists in the air, unity in the community. I'm my brother and sister's keeper, resisting by any means necessary, taking it to the streets. How we got over, letting our souls speak. From the beat of our drums to the melodies we've hummed is how we got over. From foot stomping to hand clapping to Sunday morning soul gatherings, we stood strong, speaking in blues code, sending messages of freedom from the young to the old. How we got over through the Underground Railroad and freedom rides. Resilient, often awe-inspiring in the most treacherous of times, from slave ships and plantations, lynchings, whips and chains, water hoses, marches, boycotts, a people enraged, yet we survived, found the will to stay alive and somehow still remain dignified through being called nigger, boy, mammy, gal, sambo, spook, jigaboo, darky, underclass, second class, less than human, minority, never accepting labels of inferiority, rejecting the degrading chit-chatter, boldly proclaiming that our lives do matter, always fighting back through the sheer genius encoded in our DNA, not backing down, and when we did, it was only a part of the strategy and plan to outsmart, and that we did through pressure and demands, changing the course of history to come, battle after battle we faced to overcome. Every time they thought we'd been defeated, we'd rise and regenerate, rallying a call far and wide to obliterate oppression, inequality, and hate. When we speak, The world stops and listens through our songs, our sermons, our rhymes, and our rhythms, moving mountains and legislations, making the powers that be pay attention and remind them that we are the power. We are the power. We are the power. We are the power. We are. I just want to end with this last little short piece. And it's just a call to action. It's raining on the hood. It's raining on the hood. It's raining on, it's raining on, it's raining on us. It's raining on the hood. It's raining on the hood. It's raining on, it's raining on, it's raining on us. No more silence when these bullets is flying. No more silence when our babies is dying. No more silence when the mothers is crying. No more silence when the system is failing us. It's raining on the hood. It's raining on the hood. It's raining on, it's raining on, it's raining on us. No more silence so that Trayvon Martin didn't die in vain. No more silence so that Eric Garner didn't die in vain. No more silence so that Mike Brown didn't die in vain. No more silence so that 3 little drowned black girls didn't die in vain. No more silence when these bullets is flying. No more silence when our mothers is crying. No more silence when our people are dying. No more silence when the system is failing us. Cause it's raining on the hood. It's raining on the hood. It's raining on, it's raining on, it's raining on us. Guns and bombs and bloodshed. Guns and bombs and bloodshed. Guns and bombs and bloodshed. Don't wanna see another brother, another sister dead. No more silence, y'all. So countless of our people don't continue to die in vain. Uhuru, peace and love.
Come on, give it up. Damn it, if that didn't hit you right here, something wrong with you. Give it up for her one more time. Round and round. All right, again, I want to welcome everybody. We have a few newcomers. Again, my name is Tiffany. I'll be your MC this evening. And I want to welcome everyone to the Kunde Speaks Tour, Philadelphia edition. I just want to give a couple housekeeping items before we move forward. Please, no photography or no video. So, yeah, unless approved by Burning Spear Media. So we're going to ask everybody to please do not record, no pictures or anything like that without the express consent of Burning Spear Media. Again, we're fundraising tonight. This is an information session. This is a session to get everyone organized. And to educate everybody about the case of the 3 drowned black girls and to get everyone involved. So, we have lots of literature in the back. Before we adjourn tonight, we want to make sure everybody in this room is organized and to participate to come with the 3 Drowned Black Girls campaign tour, because this is powerful. This is something that's touching every single person in this room and beyond. And something that we say in the Uhuru movement as we continue to organize and struggle for the liberation of our people is touch one, touch all. So it's again another call and response. So when I say touch one, you say touch all. Touch one.
Touch all.
Touch one.
Touch all.
One more time. Touch one.
Touch all.
And that statement is really, really powerful in its own right, because when you hurt one of our brothers and sisters in the community, when you hurt one of our babies, you hurt us. You take a piece of the community away. And that's really a really powerful statement. So I want that to resonate with you as we continue on with this program. Gosh, what can I say about our two special guests from St. Louis and from St. Petersburg? They are the best daughters of Africa. These sisters are out here fighting on the front lines every day when you don't even see it. They defend our freedom. They defend our right, to have the things that, we deserve. These sisters are on the front lines every day, and we are just so profoundly grateful and we're proud to, bring this tour and bring these two sisters to Philly. Everybody's gonna be touched tonight. That's just the bottom line. So I'm not gonna go into a grandiose speech. The content in the program is just gonna speak for itself. So I just really appreciate everybody coming tonight. So just continuing on with our program. We're gonna go into our statements. First up is the African People's Education and Defense Fund. So that's us. So the African People's Education and Defense Fund, I'm not sure if everyone in this room is familiar with what the African People's Education and Defense Fund does. Who's heard of Uhuru Flea Market out in Clark Park? Raise your hand. All right. Has anyone heard of Black Power 96? All right. The Tyron Lewis Community Gym. Okay, all right. So here, let me just go ahead and get into my statement. The African People's Education and Defense Fund, the organizational mission statement reads, we are in place to institutionalize and develop programs to defend the human and civil rights of the African community and to address the grave disparities in education, health, and economic development faced by the African community. So the APDF is a national nonprofit that's put into place to put programs and resources back into the African community in the form of economic development, to put resources in place around education, around health and access to health care. We recently just had a health festival in April that was really powerful. Sister Kunde Mwamvita, she was one of our special guests. She rocked the show. And y'all wanna just find out just how powerful this sister is when she steps to the mic tonight. Moving on with the statement. The African People's Education and Defense Fund is the baddest nonprofit on the planet. Why, you ask? APDF has a wide span of institutions that promote self-determination for the African community, which include Black Power 96, Akwabwa Hall, Uhuru Jiko Kitchen, the Tyron Lewis Community Gym, Kids Fit Camps. We have community gardens out in Oakland, California, the One Africa, One Nation marketplaces in Philadelphia, soon to be in St. Louis and in St. Petersburg, Florida. This is the Uhuru movement strategy to address the question around African self-reliance and self-determination as becoming the solution in the ability to feed, clothe, and house and employ ourselves. And I just want to read a quick quote from our chairman, Omali Shateli, to put all this in the context. Our economic institutions are also important for what they bring to the masses of our people. Our economic institutions are also important for what they represent to the psyche of Africans who may have lost collective self-confidence as a result of the cruelty of colonial capitalism that denies Africans the ability to initiate successful life-creating or economic ventures. Our economic institutions speak to the possibility of Africans to achieve economic self-reliance to be in charge of our own affairs. So what that means in a nutshell, this brick and mortar institution is not just a furniture store. It's an economic development institution that belongs to you, the people. It employs, it constantly brings about economic development so we can continue our programming across the country. So this is what's called liberated territory. If anybody has a problem, you can come here. This is a safe haven for the African community. So I don't want anybody to ever forget that. When you go out to the flea markets and you see the sea of economic development through our vendors and all of our supporters, it's no small thing. This also belongs to the African community. So, I just really wanted to put that out there. There's room for everyone to participate with Philadelphia APDF and the spectacular work that we're doing. Currently, we are in the middle of our flea market season, and we're looking for volunteers to plan and to continue to build this beautiful institution. Our next community meeting is Wednesday, June 14th at 7 p.m. right here at Uhuru Furniture. This will help build for our June 17th flea market, as well as give out more information about our upcoming book fair in October that will feature renowned speaker, author, and leader of the Uhuru movement, Chairman Omali Yeshitela. We need everyone's time, talent, and skill to develop and carry out this important programming. Please sign up at the registration table and we'll get right back to you. Now is the time to contribute to a project where you can see concrete results that truly benefit the African community. Get involved. Uhuru. I'm sorry, you know I'm Uhuru. Touch one.
Touch all.
Touch one.
Touch all.
Uhuru. All right, next up we have a solidarity statement from the African People's Solidarity Committee. Ruby Gittelsohn. Uhuru.
Uhuru. I just really want to also thank everyone for coming to this event, which is dealing with the most crucial issue of our times, stopping the war that America is making against the African community in this country and poor and oppressed people all over the world. That includes black teenagers murdered by the Sheriff's Department in Florida that we will hear about just in a minute, and the black teenagers right here in Philadelphia that are stopped, frisked, and hunted down by the police every day. As Tiffany said, my name is Ruby, and I'm a member of the African People's Solidarity Committee, which is an organization that was founded by and works under the leadership of the Uhuru movement and the African People's Socialist Party. Our work is to organize the white people who do not agree with the attacks on African people to speak out and to raise reparations to the black community. I'm honored to speak here tonight and salute the courageous leadership of Kunde Mwamvita, who has gone through what no mother should have to face, and who stands so strong and sets such a courageous example of the struggle for African freedom and power today. Kunde is not only the mother of Dominique, she is a leader in the African People's Education and Defense Fund and the Uhuru movement work for economic self-reliance. I want to talk briefly to the white people who are here tonight. We need to hear what is being said by these African leaders. We need to listen, and we need to take a stand in solidarity with the African community. We need to see the world as it really is, through the eyes of the majority of humanity who live in poverty and violence, so we can live in wealth and comfort. We must take responsibility for the fact that the life we take for granted comes at the expense of 600 years of war, slavery, stolen land, rape, and atrocities that the indigenous people and African people didn't even have words for. We see a big crisis in America today because all over the world, people are saying no to America's theft of their resources and taking back what is rightfully theirs. In this room, we see the future. African people coming together collectively to solve the problems that plague their communities and creating new institutions and organizations to create a new social system. The Uhuru movement is an African-led movement that is building local programs like this Uhuru Furniture Store as part of the international strategy for African freedom and self-determination. The Uhuru movement says reparations are due to African people and we unite with it. And we call on all the white people here to unite with reparations too. This is in our deepest interest. How else can we right the wrongs that have been committed by our people in our name against African people and people all over the world? If we say we want change, but don't challenge the unjust status quo that exists, where the majority of people in Africa live on less than $2 a day, where the life expectancy of an African baby born right here in North Philadelphia is 20 years shorter than a white baby born in Center City, while the average white family has 22 times the assets of an average black family, and black people are sentenced to 30 years in prison for things that white people don't go to jail for. If we don't want to change that, then everything we say is just talk, and talk is cheap. You came here because you know something is not right in this country. And the problem is not racism. It's much bigger than Trump. The white population lives in totally different conditions than African people experience. We stole 100 million people and worked them to death. We stole their gold, their oil, their culture, their names, their beautiful fertile land, and that process continues to this day. We all know that if Dominique Battle, Ashaunti Butler, and Laniya Miller were white girls, they would be alive today. But today they are slandered, called criminals, they are blamed, the mother is blamed, and the white people take the lies that the police tell us and say that we believe it. This is very convenient for us, because otherwise we would have to acknowledge that it's we who have blood on our hands. The Uhuru movement is leading a scientific way to change the world. This is positive and a forward-looking vision for a new society led by African working people. The Uhuru movement calls on us to reject the lies and slander and unite with humanity, to build a world where no one lives at the expense of another. We can see the white population is in crisis today. There is no future for us unless we reject this system that is so hostile to life and join the majority of humanity. We call on the white people here to get involved in this work for reparations to African people. Through joining the Uhuru Solidarity Movement, we have a study coming up this coming Thursday, right here at Uhuru Furniture at 7. Bring your skills. Volunteer at Uhuru Furniture and Uhuru Flea Market. Help build Day in Solidarity with African People that's going to be in October. We say unity through reparations. Uhuru. Uhuru!
Thank you for that statement, Ruby. Next up is truly an honor for me to bring this sister up. She is one of the mightiest warriors and organizers I have ever met, ever. She is fearless. She is truly the voice of the people. And she's a sweetheart. She's just all these things balled up into one of the most dynamic revolutionary leaders of our time. Kalambayi, she is the International People's Democratic Uhuru Movement International President, NCC member of the Uhuru Movement, fearless leader, mother warrior, no bullshit taken. Sorry about that. But she's just a force. And there's no words that can really describe what this sister's going to bring to this presentation in a couple minutes. So, I mean, just, be embraced, be inspired, and help me give a revolutionary Uhuru welcome to Kalambayi Andenet. Uhuru.
Uhuru. Uhuru. Uhuru. Uhuru in my lifetime. Uhuru in your lifetime. And how is that going to happen? Because we're going to make it happen. Uhuru, comrades, sisters and brothers. I have spoke at a lot of different places in the last 3 years around, Black Power. But by far, this tour is not easy, by no means. To stand before my people and continue to pick at my heart with the science of African internationalists and say, what is it going to take to shake our people to understand that enough is enough? That babies are dying. Literally, mothers are sitting on the front pews of churches with their baby land stretched in front of them, knowing that that's the last time they're going to see them. That no more crying, no more laughing, nothing. And all for a reason, like something that we can identify. The core contradiction of what we're talking about here is colonialism. It's not racism. It's not that these cops need sensitivity training. It's not that these cops need, we need some body cameras. That's not going to change anything. Because the truth of the matter is, it was body cameras out there that day. It was cameras in the cars. It was a helicopter in the sky the night that this happened. But still, it was so many lies that they told. First, they said that the girl stole the car. But nobody reported a car stolen. Nobody took out the time to say, why was they in the car in the first place? and the cop that was chasing, and then they said we wasn't chasing them, and they were chasing them in an unmarked police car. But nobody asking that question. Another lie that they told is they said that these cops, they actually gave these cops an award and said that they were heroes because they jumped in the water and tried to save their life. But all of a sudden, you know, they could write articles in the paper and convince all the white people that these girls are victims, and then white people could stand in front of us and say, well, I mean, why was they in the car in the face place? And I mean, what was going on? I mean, come on now. These people said that these girls stole a car and it wasn't stolen. They said that these cops jumped in the water and tried to save their life. And now you want me to believe that the girls are the victim? I mean, the girls are the ones that should be blamed? I mean, come on now. It don't take a rocket science to figure this out. It don't take a rocket science. So I want to slow down. I just, Kunde going out every single time and her coming like, like this is not like the easiest thing in the world to do at all.